that I can with what I have. And as you know from yesterday and my posts, there's a baby on the way, and I found it very easy to get caught up in eating. I want to eat really crappy foods. I want hot chips, I want burgers, I want cake, and I want chocolate, which is hilarious. Hey, Lauren. But it's not my normal MO. And while everyone goes on about you're eating for two, you can eat whatever you want, go through it. Take this time to just smash it all. I know that can't be true, and I've been doing some research on, what you eat during this time while you're pregnant actually forms the baby's taste buds and what they prefer to eat as well, which I found really interesting. And there's a whole other bunch of science, but I'm not the one to share that with you. But the one thing that I always come back to with eating is my priorities are I want to eat well so I can do the things that I want to do, which is Lunch Lady Lou, and it requires a crap load of energy to do the important things in life and not just get caught up in the run-of-the-mill every day, I believe. And to be my bright, shiny first self, I just read first there. To be my bright, shiny self, I need to feel a certain way, and that exudes out, I believe, to the world. So this is why I try and eat. And, obviously there's health stuff in there and all the rest of it, but that's my priority. So that's what I go with. And even though I've been on this path of kind of detouring, I've been giving myself little treats here and there, I'm really conscious that it's not a time, I don't believe, for me. My body's not telling me that to overeat on all of this stuff that I wouldn't normally want, because for me it's all about, once I eat it, how do I feel next? So I might want it, and this is just a big part of cooking as well. You may get home and you feel really freaking tired and you just want to open Uber Eats and order the menu, order whatever you get, and the menu back to front and all that stuff. But how do you feel after you eat it? Because it might be filling in the craving gap of sugar, salt, and fat, oil, which you get. That's like the main three cravings that you get when you eat out or from fast food. It's that hit of salt or fat. But once I do that, so I cave and I order the Uber Eats, I'm not a fan of it, then how do I feel later? I definitely don't feel my shiny self. I've maybe benefited from doing it from a I'm really freaking tired point of view, but never have I felt and gone, oh wow, I feel amazing after this meal. I'm so happy that I ordered it. And I go into this on my website and other places. This class wasn't going to be about it, but about this, but here we are. So I'm just going to keep on going. Now I've forgotten what I was talking about. How am I going to remember? I'll read Lauren's comment and I'll remember. First trimester, I was all about the carbs. Yeah, me too. Absolutely. No, still can't remember. I'll remember in a second. I look really sweaty over here. So I'm sharing with you today the snack that I always make. It's in my free ebook, Get Your Shit Together. There's other versions on my website, and it is just a pinnacle part of me getting ready for the week. And that is making a simple roasted veggie dip. And the reason I do this is because if you've got a tray of roasted veggies, you're roasting them up for the week anyway, which I suggest that you do. This is an easy way to just add more goodness into your diet without needing to go and buy a hummus dip or whatever packet dips there are out there, because most of them are full of junk anyway. And since when has making dip been a bad thing? Dip is amazing. I think it's a good healthy snack. And when you have crackers or you have cucumber chopped up, whatever you want to put it with, it's a really good snack, and it stops me instead of saying, I'm not going to eat any sugar and I'm just going to ignore all my cravings altogether, my thing is to kind of booby trap what's going on, which I've talked about a bit lately. I booby trap my pantry, so there's always things in there, and my fridge with my flavor bombs. But I do the same thing with my snacks as well. So instead of just cutting it out and saying, I'm not eating any of this, well, what are you replacing that with? Because I can guarantee you, if I don't have something to replace it with, right now, I'll go get the ice cream. So yesterday was the banana with the yogurt that I love, absolutely love, and it's delicious and amazing, and you get to experiment with it and make it your own, and you're in control of how it tastes, that's what I love about cooking. Yeah, so that was a very long monologue, which half of it I can't remember. I'll remember later and I'll write a post about it or something. But this is my roasted veggie dip, and so if you make roasted veggies now, or you're not, I highly suggest a tray or two on a Sunday. All you need to do is just get your chopping board, get your whatever, pumpkin, sweet potato, get it out, chop, in the oven, and you've got half an hour to yourself. You don't even need to watch it. So that to me is the gift of roasting veggies, the gift of an oven, the gift of roasting a chook, the gift of the slow cooker, and the 5 minutes prep to then have something done which benefits future you, it energizes you, it saves you money, it's there for you when you're hungry and you're in that ravenous stage of like, I'm so hungry, what am I going to eat? And it doesn't take much to make a meal out of it. So I have roasted eggplant here. I have about 500 grams, but you probably need, it depends on the size of your food processor bowl. So I always wing it with 500 grams, but I am using a Thermomix, and the bowl is quite wider. So if you have a smaller food processor, use that, or maybe just up the ingredients a little bit. So 700 grams of eggplant should work well, but this could also be beetroot, pumpkin, sweet potato, roasted carrots. It doesn't totally matter what you're using. So this isn't just one recipe for roasted eggplant, which really it's baba ganoush, but you know, I'm butchering the real recipe. So I just roast them in the oven like that in strips. I leave the skin on because there's so much goodness under the skin. I don't want to take it off. And then it is just some basic ingredients. So a little bit of ginger would be good if you've got that, or garlic. If you're into garlic, you can do that. What else? And then we need what I like to refer to as, you know, they're just the pinnacle bits of flavor. So we need, and I touched on them before with the takeaway, but we need some salt. Where are my knives? We need some salt. We need some oil to get things going in there. And then we need some type of acid as well. So just a tiny bit of garlic. Tiny. These are huge cloves. So, and we need some acid too. So I have here, I'm going to put in some cashews just to help to add flavor. Usually people would use a tahini or something like that, which is just ground up sesame seeds. You can make tahini, you don't need to buy it. Although if you're lazy, just buy it. I usually just have a kilo or maybe 2 of sesame seeds, so I'll just blend up heaps. But in saying that, I haven't done that at least in 6 months to a year. So things just change. At the moment, we've just been roasting up peanuts and making lots of peanut butter, but I really do need to get back in the tahini game. Also, you could just add 1/4 cup of sesame seeds, which is your tahini. You don't even need to tahini it. You know, blend it up and make the tahini before you add it in your food processor, which I think is very cool. So 1/4 cup of cashews, could be sesame seeds, could be, you could do almonds, You could do macadamias. Any of them would work, really. All you need to know about that is that every nut or seed does have a different flavor. So for example, sunflower seeds are quite, they're a lot more bitter than sesame seeds. Another cool tip to bring out all the flavor of your nuts and seeds is to toast them up. So you could do that in the oven, on a tray, or you could do that just in a pan on your stove top. So I said 1/4 cup. I'm just going to put a little bit more in because that's what I do. And then all you need to know with this is start with this base recipe and then just add little bits as you go, which builds up to this holy trinity kind of thing of flavor of salt, and then you need some type of fat, and then you need acid as well. So the acid would be lemon, or it could be some apple cider vinegar, because I don't have lemon. I have a lot of limes, and I did think about putting a lime in because to me citrus is citrus is citrus. You can use all of them, but then I don't feel like a limey, eggplanty kind of dip. So the opportunity, the freedom is there to do what you want, but also check in with yourself and go, do I want lemon in this? Do I want lime in this? Do I want apple cider vinegar in this? And you will find your answer. So, can you see that? I'm going to do, this happens every time. This apple cider vinegar is too alive, and the mother always tries to come out. I'm going to put in 3 of these random sized, almost tablespoons in here. And then next up is oil. So I'm going to do just under 1/4 cup. And I'm also going to put in just a little bit of water, so maybe a tablespoon or so. And that'll just help get things going. And then next thing is salt. So we have apple cider vinegar that I'm using as the acid. Our fat is oil, and then we need salt. So here I have Himalayan salt, but some other salt options that you could use would be, feel like I need visual props for this instead of just talking about it, miso paste. And this would bring out that kind of, earthy, umami, savory flavor as well, which is another element in this, but let's not go there right now because we don't need to. You could add that in and it will be salty and delicious, so that could be your salt form, or you could use some tamari as well. So maybe these are all different strengths, but a tablespoon or 2 of tamari would be fine. Maybe you'd start with 1 teaspoon of this or so. You can always start on the lighter side and then adjust as you need to, or salt. Or you could do a mix of all 3. That's just awesome flavor right there. So you want a good pinch or 2. And then that's it. So if you were to roast, let's say you went shopping, you roasted all your veggies up in the oven, and while that was happening, you got something else ready. I don't know, you made crackers, or you went and washed the floor. I don't know, let's add something exciting, and you had a cup of tea. You made some other snacks for the week. Then that's done, that's cooking, and you're not even needing to be in the kitchen, so 0 effort there on your behalf, maybe about 5 minutes. Then you come back, all the veggies are roasted, you segment up most of them and put them in the fridge, which you can have for lunches and dinners throughout the week. And then you save the 700 grams of pumpkin or sweet potato or carrot or beetroot or eggplant, depending on the season and what's going on, and you make yourself a dressing. So this would be another 5-minute investment. And you know what you could do? Even get all of this other stuff ready. So as soon as the veggies come out of the oven, it's just boom in there and you whiz it up. And this to whiz till smooth will be, I don't know, 30 seconds or so, or a little bit longer. And if you need to add anything else in, you can just do it by, say, teaspoon amounts. So really small, and taste test as you go. So I'm not going to whiz it up for you because then that'll be weird and I'm away and new people might join, and that'll just, I've just decided not to. But you can then taste test via just smelling it, having a look at it. Is it all blended? Does it need, you ask yourself, what does it need? So it could need a bit more salt. It could need to come to life with a bit more acid. It could need just a bit more liquid in there. It could even be water that it needs, or just a little bit more oil. And if you're adjusting the ingredients, adding them in kind of teaspoon by teaspoon, you can't stuff it up. And what you begin to realize is you are in charge of the recipe. You're making the decisions and you're working with your taste buds to know what's going on, instead of just following Lou's recipe for roasted eggplant tip to a T and it not turning out, and then you not knowing what to do next, which is just, you know, that's not cool, that's not good. We want empowered people in the kitchen who can just freaking make something and then get on with their lives. So that's it for today. These are going to go with these crackers. If I remember what I was saying before, I'll come back on and finish it off, but I just can't for the life of me. Maybe I'd just finish the sentence altogether. So that's my little flavor tip for today, and a little bit of a meal prep tip as well. Kitchen Sorcery is open. We start this Sunday and I cannot wait. We really nailed the whole flavor thing. We nailed just making time. Even if you have 5 minutes to make yourself a meal every day, it is possible and it can be delicious. Even if you have zero energy, this is exactly the reason why you need to come into the course, because the better food that you eat, the more veggies you eat, and cooking for yourself will bring you more energy. Absolutely, it's just a byproduct of eating better and cleaning up your diet. Although this isn't, I don't think it's quite a healthy eating course. It absolutely is, but it's not diet restrictive. It's just about eating natural foods which you can buy from the supermarket or the farmer's market or wherever you choose to, and it's not diet specific. So you can eat meat, you can be veggie, you can be vegan, you can be paleo, you can be keto. It doesn't matter. There are substitutes for everything. This is just about making the choice to look after yourself, get back in the kitchen and just get freaking on with it, because whether you think that you're a shitty cook or you're a stressed out cook or you just weren't born with the cooking gene, which I love it when people say that to me, they're all lies. They're all lies, and you can absolutely cook, and this is just the beauty of starting the process of honing your skills. I like to say honing your skills because everyone can already cook. You're just underrating yourself, really. So that's it from me. I'll post a link to the recipes as well, but join us for Kitchen Sorcery. It's so much fun. We start on Sunday. Bye.